Okay, guys, welcome to day 4 of boot camp. Today, we are going to be going over designs first, and then we're going to be looking at campaigns. Yesterday, we covered our agent websites and our mobile app for our clients to search on, and we are going to be using parts of our website in the second half of the class when we're talking about campaigns, namely paid Facebook ads, how we can hack our website, quote unquote, to get really great content to run Facebook ads with in case you don't have a listing. Running an ad on a listing is always going to generate the highest number of leads, but there are lots of other ideas, and I'm going to show you some of those this afternoon. Or this morning, later morning. All right, so we're going to get started first with designs. So we've logged in at agent.kw.com. We are now on the home screen of Command, and we are going to come down here to designs. Don't forget, if you can't always remember what these little applets images are, you can hover and see what they are. You can also click the white KW on the red background and pop those names out. And designs is where we're going to go to make print flyers for listings or some other stuff that we can make print flyers for. You can make postcards in here. You can make social media posts in here, door hangers, email campaigns, the email part, the design part of the email campaign. So there's lots of stuff that we can do in here. So if you have not made any designs yet, when you first click on the designs applet, you're going to have a blank screen. You'll just have your bar up here at the top for navigation. But as you can see, let me move my Zoom bar so I can see, I have 757 designs. So I make a lot of designs in here. But if you haven't made any yet, that's okay. That's what we're here for today. Okay. So from this screen, you will see a list of all of your designs. You can search for a design, which is one of the reasons it's so important for us to name our designs, because if you don't name them, it's kind of hard to search for them. We can also filter, so we can only see our email designs like so, or we could only look at our social and apply those filters here. That way I can just see my social posts. So we do have those filters. You can also import PDFs into the system, which is really cool. Now, note once I click create design, we are going to lose the command applets from the left hand of the screen because we are moving into a program called WeBrand, who is the company that provides all of these wonderful designs for us. So the first step is we're going to click create design in the upper right corner, and then we're going to choose which type of design we want to make. Are we going to make an email? Are we going to make a social? We're going to make a print design or a video. And we can also import photos and text from a listing right from the get-go. So if we have a listing that's in the MLS, it should have already syndicated to the KWLS, and you can pull those photos and text in from that point. Okay. So any questions before I move forward into creating a design? Everybody good? Great. We're going to click create design, and I'm going to choose social first. So notice it's going to say, do I want to choose a listing to do this design for? No, I do not. I'm going to uncheck that box. That's going to bring me straight into the designs platform. And as I stated, you will lose those KW command applets on the left. We'll let this load up. So now we are in the WeBrand system. We are currently under the tab called templates. So these are where you can get all kinds of great templates for your listings, your buyers, lead generation, business basic, holiday stuff, all kinds of fun things that we can design in here. But before we get into that, the first thing I want to bring your attention to is the tab at the top called Assets. If you have not come into this design system and uploaded your assets, that should be your very first step. So in order to get here, we're going to go to agent.kw.com, log in to Command, click on our Designs applet, click Create Design in the upper right corner, choose anything but email. So usually I just click on social, and that will bring you to where we are right now. And then I'm going to click on Assets up here at the top. So once we get here, you can see, you can set up color palettes, you can add pictures, you can add text, logos, elements, videos, and files. So these are going to give you easy access when you are creating a design to make sure that your headshot's available, or your team photo, or your logos, your company specific logo, your team specific logos. Also your color palette. So my main color palette is comprised of these reds, teals, blacks, and grays. That's usually what I use in my branding. And then, I just made some fun ones like Duke basketball rules, just so you guys could see how they work. We're going to create a new one. We're going to go new color palette in the upper right corner. We get this nice blank color palette here, and you can choose either by color numbers if you know them. You can use this little ink finder and hover over a different color to pick up a color. So if you have a previous piece of marketing saved to your computer and you want to pull those exact colors in, you can do that here. You can also just click through until you find the color that you're looking for. And now that color is available on that color palette. We can rename our palettes so that we have easy access to those. We can also upload a custom font. So if you have developed for your branding a font that you use in your marketing, you can upload it here. So I'm going to click this upload button so that you guys can see it. It just needs to be in one of these 5 formats. So if you had a designer create a font for you, just make sure they provided you with one of these 5 formats, and you will be able to upload that font for use in designs right here, which is super awesome. All right, so any questions on the colors and fonts? We feeling good with that?
So Monica, can you set a standard font? Then if you're not uploading one, can you say like Arial or whatever?
You can't set a standard font, but it's pretty easy to change it if you have one that you like. It's just that the designs have so many different fonts in them sometimes for, so that stuff will stand out. That's a great question though. But no, you can't set just one standard. So, okay. Good questions. Keep those coming. Next up, we have images. And within these images, you can see I can make folders, which is really cool. So I have a folder of my headshots in different formats, squares, no background, all that kind of stuff, so that I can use it, because when you're making different designs, you might need to have one without a background, right? Can go back. I can have screenshots or logos or pictures of my business or pictures of my team. Obviously, I teach, so I have screenshots of Command in a folder, and I have some headshots of my Winston-Salem Market Center leadership because I put them in branding. I'm also a labs advisor, so I uploaded that here as well. Any kind of picture that you could want, you can upload it here if you're going to need to use it over and over again. Does anybody have any questions on this piece? Unlimited amount of photos. To create a new folder, you just click the plus folder button, rename your folder, and you can upload your pictures from lots of locations, including Facebook. Cool deal? Awesome. Next up is text. So anytime that you're going to be making a design, you're going to want your name and your phone number and your company name and your website and all these things. And nobody wants to type that over and over again, right? I know that I don't want to type all that. You can put your app code in here. As I've gone through and made different designs, I've noticed where like my information is in a block format like this. So I made myself a block format. And then I see this format a lot too. So that way I can just replace the text, and I'm going to show you exactly how that works here in just a minute. So you can add as much here as you want and make your life a little bit easier. I even dropped my bio in here, which, sometimes you want to put that into a design. Any questions on text?
Hey, Monica, one question I noticed the other day when we were going through the website. I think the bio piece, whenever we were creating that, I can't remember what the listing or whatever it was the other day.
Yeah.
I think bio is limited to 250 characters. Is that right?
It is in your website, yes, but not here.
But not here. Okay.
Not here in designs, no. Great questions. Anybody else? Any questions on the text? Cool. And although our logos are photos, we have a special location for our logos. And I'll show you how that works and why it works here in a minute when we create a design. I'm in 3 market centers, so I have 3 folders with all my different logos in them, right? If you don't know how to find your market centers logos in all these different variations of color with no background, with a background, black ones, white ones, white and gray scale, full colors. There's all kinds of them out here. I'm going to show you where to do that real quick because I get that question a lot. If you hop into kwconnect.com, and pretty soon KW Connect and Command are just going to be one piece together. There's already a tab for it, but it's not fully functional yet. So I usually just go to kwconnect.com. And once you are here, then you are going to go to resources and just hover here. And one of the resources that you will see is marketing. So we're going to click on marketing and open this up. And KW's got quite a few things in here. But the first thing that we're going to do is go to logos and branding. So if you're going to have a custom sign made, custom anything, we have an identity and style guide. And this is where you can find that. So a lot of times the sign maker will ask you for that so that they have the colors and all of the things that they need to be within our guidelines. So if you need that guide, it's right here. But as we scroll further down the screen, you will see a spot for market center logos. And all you have to do to get those is type your market center number. Winston-Salem, 994, KW1, 509, Chapel Hill, 685. So you just type your market center number into the search bar. There's KW Elite, and I can just click this download. It will download a zipped file for you with every format available of your specific market center's logo. And then you'll have those on your computer, and you can upload them here into your brand assets in Designs, which is what I have done here so that I have easy access to those. So any questions on logos? Pretty good. Check the chat.
Monica, I think this is what I was talking to you about yesterday. Is there any way they're going to have it already? In the past, the other program that they had, I think it was Market Lead. Who were we working with? I forgot. But all we had to do was plug it in and everything will automatically populate. Are they having any way they're going to streamline this instead of us going to different places to import and download?
So eventually KW Connect will be part of Command. But the problem with logos, like for me, for example, I'm in 3 market centers. So they don't populate it like that quite yet, but all of this is just going to continue to grow and get easier. When we were looking at opportunities on Tuesday, I know you guys probably saw I had a marketing tab in my opportunities that you guys don't have yet. More to come on that. Obviously, I can't share any information yet, but when that comes out, I will make sure that I let you guys know.
I think this is where I struggle because, again, I'm not tech, so I'm looking for something that I could just pull up the template. And
that's why we set up these assets, Diane, is so that now that's why I said this is the first thing you should do, because once you've done it once, you don't have to do it again, right? Your headshots are in here, your logos are in here, the colors you like to use are already in here. So then when you're creating a design, it makes it a lot easier. So if you haven't checked out the assets yet, definitely do that first. Cool. And we'll see how these come into play on the designs here in a minute. For the Elements tab, you can put stickers, you can put, Facebook logos, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, whatever you want to pop in here for Elements. You can add videos. Before you could only upload them from YouTube. I'm pretty sure that now, I know Scott, you guys do a lot of video, you can actually upload a file. So if you have like an intro video that you use a lot, or one for a buyer and one for a seller, you can upload a variety of videos here to be popped into Designs. So that's a great place to start. And then for files, I've yet to see where I'm going to use this, but it does exist. So I'm sure we have something coming in the future. And for now, I just dropped my Working with Real Estate Agents brochure in there. to test it out. So it takes in PDFs under the file section. Cool deal. Okay, so any questions before we move out of assets? Checking the chat. Good. Okay, so we're going to go back to templates. So when we first clicked create design, this is where we defaulted, was to templates. Okay, so if you want to get some people that you know involved in real estate, it's a great time, since we now have K-SCORE, the Keller Williams School of Real Estate, and you guys have graphics in here for those. So if you want to share it on social, if you want to share it wherever, just make sure you are using these branded materials. Do not make your own. Keller Williams has made sure that these abide by guidelines that we have to use. So just make sure if you do want to share that stuff, that you come and get the Keller Williams approved stuff out of here. So now let's talk about the listings one. I'm going to open this up. So I've got coming soon for sale, just listed, just sold, local expert, neighborhood snapshots, open houses, price updates, spring selling season right around the corner. Technically now, if you're Gary Keller, because he's always a season ahead, and the under contract. Okay. So if you got a new listing coming up, you've got all of these graphics for coming soon. Anybody who's been in this business for quite a bit of time knows the pain of, okay, I want to post it on Facebook. So now I'm going to have to go to Facebook, check Google, find out what size that the Facebook post is supposed to be, and resize my image to be that size and all that kind of stuff. Same for stories, same for all the different platforms, because the picture sizes were different. We don't have to do that anymore. We have the long story size showing up. We have the social squares, and we have the social wide that are already set up for that sizing, which I love. And you can sort. So if you only wanted to see social stories, you can sort here at the top, and it's only going to show you that size, maybe, if the internet wants to work. Let's close this other stuff so we don't bog down the internet. It doesn't help that I was doing a bunch of stuff before I got on here.
It's dragging today. I'm trying to do it too, and it's not moving.
Yeah. Everything just likes to give me a hard time when I'm on camera. There we go. So now it's sorting to just social story size, which is really nice. Not only do we have all these social sizes up here, we also have flyers, trifolds, bifolds, big bifolds. So if you want to do those booklets, I know a lot of people do the 11 by 17 paper, and then they make a book out of it. You've got postcards, tall postcards, portrait, standard postcards, door hangers. I mean, we have all kinds of stuff in here. And the really cool thing about it is that when you go to use one, which we're about to do right now, I'm going to choose this one right here because I think it pops. I'm going to click use. So if you have a listing coming soon, it wouldn't work, because coming soon listings don't syndicate until they go active, right? That's just our MLS rules, specifically in the Triad MLS, at least. I'm not sure about Chapel Hill's MLS. But if it's coming soon, you can only see it in MLS, so it doesn't syndicate. But if this was like a just listed and the listing is already in, let me pull listing real quick. We'll pull up.
Hey, Monica, how did you get to all that? All I'm seeing is the social stuff.
Yeah.
So for like the door hangers and things, I must have missed that.
I will show you where to get that. My office active listings. Let me pick something pretty since we're doing a design. Clemens, Greystone, what's this? Jeff Nicholson and Julie. I'm going to borrow your listing. I'm going to grab this MLS number and copy it. Okay, so let me go back one step. So when you're under templates, Scott, depending on which one that you open up, whether it's the listings, the buyer, you should see lots of different ones. Apparently, we're just going to really drag today in design, the one day that I'm teaching it. Any day would be great. Templates. So when you click open one of these, like coming soon, they should scroll out across the top. Now, keep in mind, I'm on a 34-inch monitor. So you're getting to see a lot more screen than you may be seeing if you're on a laptop.
Mhm. Yeah, all I'm seeing are the social. I don't see any of the bifolds, trifolds, anything like that.
Huh.
So I'm not sure why.
If you only clicked,
Maybe was it because I clicked social in the beginning? Is that what it?
probably,
Okay.
if you go messing around in there, it'll start populating in the print stuff too.
Okay.
I went over into my assets and then I came back over into the templates and stuff. So it's picking up everything at this point. It's trying to narrow it down for you since you chose social is what it's doing.
Okay.
All right, cool deal. Let's hit up a just listed. And I'm going to pick one that I think is super poppy because I'm going to show you guys something fun that recently released. I'm going to use this one that says just listed. We're going to let it load. And so now, if your listing is already in, right, I can come over here to the KWLS button on the left. Click that. I'm going to search for a KW listing by the MLS number. I'm going to paste in that MLS number that I just got from my MLS. Obviously, it would be your listing. You would know what the address was. I just don't have listings, so I had to go find one. So there's that listing, and I can click select and watch what I will get as soon as it loads. All of my photos that are in the MLS are going to populate here. Interior photos are trending in 2022. So, you know, historically speaking, we always use like a front exterior, but a lot of people really like using these interiors because people like to see and imagine what it would be like to live in the house. So you get access to all of your photos here. And also if you're doing a print design that's got like a description of the property and all that kind of stuff, you also have the listing details. So the address, all that stuff is right there. So it makes it really easy, right? This is Heather Lane in this sample. I can just come over here to the address right here and click replace. Boop. And then I didn't have to type it. I can stretch it. I can make it smaller. This one didn't have the city or the zip, so I could just like make it like this. But that way I didn't have to type it at all. I can just put it where I want it to be. I can drag it in from the corners to make it a little bit smaller. So I can pop it in right there. And resizing in here is really nice. I'm going to take this listed word so I can show you guys this spacing tool right here. This is cool. You can space out the lines, you can space out the words, and you can even space out the letters. So if you wanted them to stretch out to cover more page, then you can use this letter spacing, which is nice, and really customize it to just what you want. Okay. As far as replacing this picture, I've still got KWLS open over here on the left. I can just click the sample photo, come to the left and replace it with my own photo with this little replace button, the little recycle, and click that, and it puts it in the right spot, cropped. And I can go, I really want to take an interior. I can switch that out too. And so now I have that. This listing was 400,000. I can come back to listing details. This one's 450 and replace it like so. I have access to the numbers of bedrooms and baths. Obviously, if it was your listing, you would know those. But I want to show you guys, this is a block. So this is not one of those that's super easy to replace all at one time because it's listed separately in the details. But up here, we have this typewriter block. And I can click that, and then I can look over to the left and go, okay, this is 4-4. So 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, square footage, I think was 3,200, and the year built was 2003. So now that I've replaced that, I can save the changes. And that saved them in my design. Cool. Now when I click on the logo, this is why we have our assets put in, because as soon as I clicked on that logo, it popped up over here on the right-hand side, my folders that I showed you guys in my assets. Okay. So I can say, okay, this is a KW1 listing. This one's white. This one's white. Replace it. Boom. I didn't have to upload it. I didn't have to go find it. It's already there in my assets for me to use. And now the super fun part is the most recent upgrade that we got here. And I am going to take this front exterior back for now. And check this out. The new animation button. So everybody knows when you're posting something on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you're posting, what catches your attention more? A flat photo or something animated like a GIF, right? Obviously, the animation is going to catch your attention more. So we now have this animation button. So I can click apply it to all pages. If I have multiple pages, I can do a bounce in. I can do a swing in, a fade, right? I can slow down the duration so it lasts longer. And I'll do rotate in from left. So you can see how that slowed it down. So it can catch people's attention. Now, the one thing about using animations, if you were just going to do this flat, it's saved in your designs. So later when we move forward into campaigns and you can schedule out your social post from the campaign section, you wouldn't have to pull in, you wouldn't have to download the picture. You would be able to pull it over from designs. The only exception is these animations because these are actually videos. So for now, you just need to come up here and click download, change this to video, and download it to your computer, and then go post it all over creation, right? Announce that new listing. So I'm really excited about the animation. I think it's super fun, and we have lots of them to choose from, right? So super cool. Any questions on animations, social, how we replace these pictures, how we put those assets to use in this particular instance, and how we access the KWLS for our listing design?
Yes.
I'm not seeing the animation.
Julie, are you in a social design? If you can't be in a print design, it has to be one of the social graphics.
Oh, I don't know.
So when you, I'm going to go back, you guys, hold on one sec for me.
Well, I'm just looking at what you're showing us.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't animating at the time, Julie. I can make it show you again. Hold on.
Okay.
There we go. So if I click on the animation, I just have to be clicking on one of the buttons. You see it fading in now.
Okay, I saw that.
Good. And when you save this, you just download it as a video before you post it. It's a great question.
Okay, Monica,
Yeah, Carol.
down there. Hey, so we've got our logo for our market center. Can we also add our own logo beside it?
Absolutely. Yep. So under my logos in here, and I don't know if you were in here, Carol, when we were setting up assets at the beginning.
Okay, no.
But I can re-show that. I have mine just all saved in here. So obviously I don't have a real team, but I did make a team logo and I have it right here. So I can just click this logo and I can drop it in. So you absolutely can put your team logo
Okay.
down there with it.
Okay,
Cool.
thanks.
You're welcome. And did anybody else not see assets that needs to see where I went to set those up?
I didn't see it.
Okay, let me go back. Let me step back because that's the first thing that you should do in designs the first time that you come in. So you can also see I am not in Command. I'm in WeBrand. It takes you kind of out of the system
Uh-huh.
So I just wanted to I always want to make sure to show you guys that. I don't want to be Mary Kate's today. I would like to be myself. So we were in Command. We went to Designs right here.
Mhm.
And then when you create a design up here, pick social or print. Don't pick the two outers, either one of these in the center, and click continue. And you'll see it bring you kind of out of Command and into WeBrand. And I mean, that's the good thing about Command is you can have, I know Julie and I've had quite a few one-on-ones. You can have multiple Command windows open. So if you're like working on paperwork or something, and then you go work on a design, you can have multiple windows open. And I usually do have multiple windows open. But here we are. So once we're in here, up here at the top, assets. This is where you can upload your headshots, change out your color palettes, upload your logos, all kinds of stuff that you need to have access to when you're making a design. And that way you don't have to upload it every time. It's just there in the system for you. Good. Awesome.
So then how do you,
Monica, with
then how do you
the,
create from there?
Well,
Yes.
from here, you're in the asset section, honey. This is like you're just uploading your stuff for use over and over again.
Mhm.
Monica, if you don't upload this color, would the system just automatically just go off of whatever color that's there in those
Yeah.
templates, right?
So when you're in here, I mean, it's already got colors on it, but I'll show you what the purpose of those colors is. I love teal. So if I was actually selling houses, I probably would have teal in my branding. So say I wanted this red to be my brand's teal. When I go to change the color, they're the template colors, like the colors that are built into this template, but I can also go up to my library. And so this is my main palette. So say I wanted it to be that color. I don't have to go find it. I've already got it saved. I can just switch it out.
Got it.
So you
And where did you get those colors that you imported? Sorry, the colors that you chose for your palettes, where are you getting those colors?
added them in my assets when I set them up. So when we were in here,
Yes, I did get that. I saw that you saved them in your assets, but I'm saying, where did you get them to save them in your assets? Like if I'm going in raw and I need to choose yellow and
yeah.
pink, where would I
So
get those colors?
When I clicked create a new color palette like this, I've got this blank one. I just click the plus. If you're looking for yellow, you can just kind of click over on the bar. And if you're looking for kind of a gold color, you just click it. And now you have a palette. And then you can rename this. And this can be Diane's palette, right?
Okay.
And you can add whatever colors you want to it.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
Good?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Because we each run our brands the same way. That's what I love about KW. Not that, no shade on other companies. I just like that we are taught to build our business under the KW umbrella, and we're allowed to use our branding and our colors as long as we have a KW logo. And they give us all the choices, right? So you can just use a black KW logo. If you don't have red in your color scheme, then you have the option to use a black KW logo or a gray one or a white one, right? So that's really cool. Any other questions on that stuff? Where you get the assets?
I have a
That's
quick
Sally.
question. I'm not sure if it's the right time to ask because I came in a little bit late, but what if you want to make a booklet?
Yeah, we're going to look at those here in just a second. We're just wrapping up with social and we're
Okay.
about to move into print. Good
Thanks.
question. So any more questions on social? There's tons of them here, you guys. I mean, there's so many different things that you can make for social graphics, for not just for your listings, but also like the local expert stuff, like how's the market. I know Scott's a numbers guy. If you like go in and study the market a lot, you can have all these things that you can pop the numbers in and share that to give your social media some content, right? Neighborhood snapshots. I'll show you guys this real quick before we move into print. Snapshots. So maybe I want to target, I know we've talked a lot about targeting neighborhoods. Maybe I want to target Buena Vista. And I'm going to take this social square. And I'm going to, there we go. I'm going to click this, click my typewriter, which we looked at earlier, and change this to Buena Vista. And no, I am not saying it wrong. That is how you say it when you live in Winston-Salem. It is Buena Vista. It is not Buena Vista. Make sure that y'all know that I'm not just crazy. I'm going to click on my logo. That way I get to replace it with my company's logo. Boop. Okay. And now we want to switch this out. So this is that listing marketing snapshot. We're going to go back over to KWLS. Earlier, we were looking at just an individual listing, but at the top, there's also a tab for snapshots. Okay. So we can only do these two ways. One is those neighborhoods that are established by Nextdoor. Two is a zip code. So if you don't want to do a specific neighborhood, but you want to work in 27104 or whatever the opposite one is in Greensboro that I can never type right, is it 27410? I can never remember.
Yep.
I can never type that zip code because I always want to type my own zip code. You can only do it those two ways. So neighborhood name or zip code. So I do know that Buena Vista exists. So I'm going to do Buena Vista, Winston, Salem, search. Okay. And so there it is right here. So I'm going to click this little down arrow and it's going to take it a second to load. We have different sizes of market snapshots and different layouts. And this is the one that I need, right? Because that's the one in the design. So I'm just going to come over here and click that replace button. And that will take it a minute to fully go. And there you go. Now I can post this. Right? Cool, cool, cool. All right. Any questions on social designs?
So where is that replace button that you just showed?
Yeah.
You showed me.
That little recycle button.
Okay. Oh, there it is. It popped up now. Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
This is really cool.
Good. Yeah, I love it. All right. Everybody good? Questions? Okay. We're going to move into print. Okay. So on my templates, once you're in designs and you're just kind of hanging out in here, you can get to everything except print and video. I'm sorry, emails and video. Those are kind of separate and I'll show you those next. But under a listing, you have listing presentation. So maybe this is what you're asking about, Sally, when you're talking about a booklet, is a listing presentation. Is this what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the branded magazines?
No, listing presentation.
Okay, cool. So you can pick whichever one of these that you like and say, I want to use this one. I'm going to click use. And I'm going to go ahead and preface this. It does take time to set these up and you get to use it over and over and over again. So just like all systems, setup time on the front end saves you time in the long run. So yes, it's going to take you a little bit of time. Get your favorite beverage, turn on your favorite music, and come and sit in front of your computer and get your listing presentation just the way you like it. The next time you need it, it's ready to go and you don't have to think about it. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. So now we're looking at this cover of the listing presentation. Over here on the right lower corner, we have the pages. So I'm going to click this pages button. So I've got this page, listing presentation. These are instructions on how to edit this. Okay. Now, after you've read through these instructions, you don't need them. So you can just click the three dots and you can delete that page because you're not going to be using it. Okay. I prefer this cover to this cover. That's just my personal preference. So I don't need this cover. I'm going to delete it. And so really, once you have this set up to your liking, you just need to come through every once in a while and like change out the people's name. Obviously, if you're going to a different person, you want to customize it to their name, but there will be very few things that you have to actually go through and change each time once you have this set up. So we're going to start here, and I'm going to take this lovely lady's headshot. I'm going to go over here to my assets where I have my own headshots. That one is a portrait. It's not a square. So I'm going to replace it with mine. So now it's mine. I'm going to click here on first name, under text, my assets. Then I can change this out too, right? Boop. And I can change them as I need, stretch them out, get rid of that one. There's my name. And here's that block. So you saw in my assets where I set up some different formats. That was because as I went through here, I noticed that a lot of these were set up in different formats, and I didn't want to have to type them. So mine, like that, is right here. So I'm just going to click replace. It's still that little recycle button, and done. It changed out all that data to my own. So now this page, shy of my logo, is done. Okay. Move on to the next page. So this is just
How'd you
showing.
get to the next page? Sorry, missed that.
That's okay. I just clicked over here. I was on page 1. Now I'm on page 2.
I'm not sure where you're clicking.
Over here on the right side of my screen, Julie,
Oh, okay, I got you.
see it? See where I'm clicking on those pages? All right, cool. So I can switch out this photo with my own. If I wanted to switch any of these other ones out, I could. Not only do we have our own assets in here, but we also have some stock photos. And we can switch them out with stock photos. Okay. We can also upload pictures from our computer. So if I wanted to, I could just upload pictures of my own listing or whatever I want to do in here. So fully customizable to your liking, right? And move on to page 3. And so your home is 10% larger than the average property. So if you've already done your CMA for these folks, you can go in here and give them like a summary or a synopsis. I like shortcuts. So I usually already have a CMA and it generated out a report, so I don't need this. So I would just delete this. And when I printed it out, I would stick my CMA right here because I already made it. I don't, you know, but I do personally, I like this page because I like this graphic. So again, you know, I could change this to be Buena Vista. Type up a little blurb about it. Okay. So Buena Vista is an extremely desirable neighborhood and is attractive young professionals, families, blah, 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 blah. Whatever you want to put there. So just make sure you do your editing if you're going to use this page. If you don't like this page, you don't have to use it. I also personally wouldn't use this page. That's just my preference because I'm not going to take the time to fill this stuff in if I already have a CMA. If you want to fill it in, good on you. Do it, right? It's our own businesses. We can do whatever we want as long as it's legal. As long as it's legal. This is the stuff that I really, really like. Your needs come first. What is my value proposition, right? This really doesn't need a lot of customization, right? Those first couple of pages are property specific. So you would edit them out to the property if you were using them. But this, page 6, the process, these don't really need much editing. This just walks them through it. If you felt like some of this wasn't what you wanted it to say, you could obviously edit it. But I mean, it's pretty initial meeting, sign the listing agreement, prepare the property for sale, get it ready for marketing, da, 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 da. It walks them through that process. Okay. Next up, my app. So you can let them download your app, even if they're selling. That way they can look around at their competition, and they have those guides that we discussed yesterday. So if
It's a
you're,
good point to drop a QR code or something that they can scan
yeah, I mean, you definitely
right
could.
there.
Yeah, you can make free QR codes now.
Mhm.
So as long as you have that app link, you just drop it on a QR code, download the image, pop it in there. You could save it to your assets, and then you would never have to upload it again. You would already have it
Yep.
ready.
Cool.
Good call. Next up, marketing plan. Again, doesn't need a lot of customization unless you want to customize it, right? I don't know why these things are doing that today. So finding your buyer. This is where most people find the home that they want. The internet, then an agent, then yard sales, open sign, or yard signs, open house signs, friends, neighbors, relatives. If any of you are in next door, you see it all the time. I'm looking for a house in that area, for my friend. Do you know anybody who's going to sell? So people definitely find stuff there.
This may be redundant,
okay,
Monica,
girl,
but
go ahead.
on that last chart,
Mhm.
and if you've loaded other colors, can you change the color of that chart?
That's a great question. I've never looked.
Well, of course. No, what a weird question.
The answer is no, Carol, you cannot change the color of this.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm double checking. Yeah, no. You can't. Okay. So nonetheless, we're not going to spend terrible amount of time here. You go through and you edit the pages. You delete the pages that you don't want, right? And that way you have it. And then you come up here, this says Classic 01. I don't know what that is. I'm going to rename this, and I'm going to say it's Monica's 2022 listing presentation. Okay. We're going to pretend like we edited out the whole thing. Like I said, it does take some time, right? I'm not going to mince words over that. But this shows like coming soon marketing. I'll expand this so you can see it. If you're not going to make a postcard, don't tell them you're making one, right? So if you're not going to use this page, delete it. Okay. But if you are going to do a property brochure and a flyer and a postcard, then leave it, right? Strategic promotion. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in here. It's like what? I think I've already deleted some pages. So I think originally it's like 30 pages long. It's got open house strategy. It's got all kinds of stuff in here. So, I mean, if you don't want it, if you don't want that page, this is like your brag book. Look at these listings that I sold in 24 hours, right? If you don't want to pop any of those in there, or if you haven't sold a listing yet, just click the three dots and click delete. Take that page off. Okay. This is where you can pop in some testimonials that your clients have left you. So you have all kinds of stuff in here that you can use. Any questions on this? On the like editing part?
I've got a quick question on the photographs.
Uh-huh.
Is there someplace we can go and find the size or resolution of the pictures that this will take, or just trial and error?
I mean, we have built-in pictures, Sally. So if you wanted to change it for something else, I would go check out stock first before you go and try to find an external picture, because
Actually,
this take up time.
Well, actually what I'm wanting to do is a property presentation or a brochure. So I'm just curious about, I'm going to use some photographs off of an iPhone only because they're of the woods, and there are a couple that are just fantastic photographs.
Yeah.
So how do I find out what works and what doesn't work?
That is a great question. You would just have to kind of gauge it, I guess. like this is a rectangle, it's not an exact square. So depending on where you were going to put it in, I don't think there's like a list because there's like 1,000 designs in here. So I don't think there's a list of all the different sizes.
No, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean like 4x5 so much as I meant the size of like how many MBs or the
Like the
resolution.
resolution of it,
Yeah,
if they were a photographer's picture, they should have plenty of pixels.
yeah. Well, like I said, these were off of an iPhone.
iPhone takes pretty high res photos. I mean, I
Okay.
would just drop a couple in there and see how they look.
Okay,
If they show up grainy, that would be a problem, but I don't think that they would from an iPhone, honestly.
okay.
Phones
Okay.
cameras have just gotten a lot better.
Yeah, they have. Hey, just one more, this is an opinion. When you do your CMAs on the listing presentation, do you do it with adjustments?
Well, I don't do CMAs.
I know, but when you, if
When I
you were
do-
to do a CMA,
When I did CMAs, I did quick CMAs because I live in the city. So, I mean, if you like were selling a farm, right, then it's a little harder to compare it. I live in the middle of Sherwood Forest where there's 100 houses that are like mine. It's not hard for me to find comps. And
Yeah.
those quick CMA programs for a city house that there's a lot of houses just like it, it's not hard. It just makes the adjustments for you.
yeah, I'm out in the county,
If
so.
my 5-bedroom, 3-bath is here and a 5-bedroom, 3-bath down the street that looks just like mine sold for $405,000, and I'm pretty safe bet that I'm going to be selling for about $405,000 unless I have just something crazy different than that
Yeah.
house. But I mean, if it needed adjustments, I would. But there's so much selling right now, I think you'd be able to find comps pretty easily. But I think the one you're talking about is that big house, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's like 4 houses on the property and it's got,
Yeah, so I mean, you are definitely going to have to do a CMA that's going to be more detailed than what I would have to do for my brick ranch
okay,
amongst a million
Well-
other brick ranchers.
I appreciate that. I just. do it.
I know that we have some really great CMA makers in the Winston-Salem office. Yes, Carol is correct. They could do a whole class on CMAs. And there are classes on CMAs. Susan Jester at Triad MOS, she sends out classes about CMAs all the time. And I'm sure Greensboro and Chapel Hill have the same. And there are a lot of agents that do them too. I know that Daryl in our office in Winston-Salem really likes doing CMAs. So, and then you're on productivity coaching too, Sally. So I would get them to help walk you through it because that one's going to be a little bit different than just a standard CMA.
Yeah, the more I get into it, the more different it really is.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
I've had a handful of those that, they just don't fall within standard stuff. And you're going to run into that. You have to start comparing it to other counties and stuff just where you can find a house because you can't draw a half-mile radius and find 7 things that closed that match that same property. Great
Great.
question.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, honey. So now that we have it edited and we have renamed it, right? We have a handful of ways that we can use it. So I can download this with the download button. If I'm downloading a PDF, which if you're going to print it out is the best thing for you to use, I'm going to give you 2 tips. When you're going to download it, PDF for printing, okay? Don't use standard. Use the PDF for printing. Include the bleed. Click the checkbox. And I always click download as CMYK because I feel like it keeps the integrity of the photos higher. So click, download. Then you have this PDF. You can send it to a printer. You can print it out yourself. You can print it at the market center. You can print it at your house. You have a beautiful listing presentation that I will show you in just a second, as soon as it finishes downloading. So I just downloaded 1 page so you guys can see this is the kind of print quality you would get, right? Print it out, good to go. Okay, so that's option 1, downloading. Option 2, you can come up here and click this share button. A lot of people like to send stuff out before they go on their listing appointment for their people to review. If you're going to do it this way, I want you to change from this design to the project. That's going to be the entire document. Okay. You now have a link. You can copy this link. You can put it in an email. You can put it on Facebook. If you wanted to take all the property specific information off and say, hey, everybody I know on Facebook, these are the things I promised to do with you as your agent if you list your home with me in spring 2022. Listing presentation. You can link it. I'll show you what it looks like. It comes up like this. And they can flip through it like a digital magazine. So you can put it in an email, you can put it on your social profiles, right? But if you're going to do it, make sure that you fully brand this to yourself and that what you're actually selling is what you're actually going to be doing. So if you're going to include this page, make sure that you plan to deliver on those things. Okay? Questions, comments, concerns? We good? Awesome. So we are coming up on 11 o'clock, and I do have a hard stop for part 1 at 11:40. So I want to make sure that we get through everything. So any more questions on print designs? There are also listing flyers, right? That was the booklet. There's listing flyers. There's those local expert flyers that say, you know, here's what's happening in your neighborhood. Like if you want to go door knocking and give them neighborhood metrics and all that kind of fun stuff. There's plenty of print stuff in there. Any other questions on this? We're good? Good, good, good. Nothing in the chat. Fantastic. We're going to look at email designs real quick. I'm going to click create design. This time I'm going to choose email and click continue. And then I'm going to tell you guys how this works. And then we're going to transition into campaigns. This place where you're making these is the design of the email, not where we send the email in bulk, not any of that stuff. Once you have an email design, you can put it in a smart plan. You can put it in campaigns under bulk emails. Those are the two places that you can use the designs that you make. Okay? Questions? Good? Yes? Cool. Okay. So we have a couple of different ones that we can look at. Classic newsletter, those just have like text holders, text placeholders. You can go in there and make whatever you want and customize it and pop your stuff in there. But we actually have these really great pre-made ones like tax day, because we all know that's coming up. I know that. This doesn't take any customization. This just says tax day's coming, right? It's already got your stuff at the bottom, options, preview. It's populating from your KW Connect profile in Command. So my picture's already there, my name's there, my job title's there, my license number, a link to my website, my app download. I don't have to fill in any of this stuff. It's just there in the email. I can see what it would look like on a tablet or on a cell phone. So these are just ready-made designs. So you have a combination of ready-made designs and then you have some that you can customize, like a newsletter design. So this, you would put your own photo that you want, whatever you want to put in here. It's your sub-headline. You would have to, you know, give them this stuff here. So you do have that option if you're looking to customize something. But as far as the ones that are already made, there's some really nice ones that you can put, and then you can put them in a smart plan and schedule it to go out, which I love that idea. Remember, this is an interconnected system where everything works together. So this is where you're doing the designing. There's Valentine's Day, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy New Year, right? How to know when to sell, happy spring, happy holidays, open house follow-ups, just listed email templates where you can pop in your listing from the MLS, home anniversary, happy birthday. These are really nice. Work with me buyer and work with me seller. I'll show you that, and then we're going to move forward. Okay. So you can customize this if you want, but it's already done. Okay. You can click this preview and see it. It's what it would look like when somebody received it. Nice and branded. Got all your stuff on there. So pretty easy for the emails. If you wanted to edit something, I'll show you this real quick. Say you wanted to edit this, right? I'm going to click on the text that I want to edit, and I'm going to click the pen. Boop. Over here on the right is where I can edit this stuff out. I'll just take something off so you can see it. And then when I hit done, it's going to change it over here on this screen. Okay. So that's how you edit the text. And I would deep dive further into this, but we are running low on time. All right. Any questions before we move out of designs?
Just one question, Monica. Is it free? Is it free for the emails?
Yes. So the design emails, this is just where you're designing them, right? When you're sending them through campaigns, which is where we're going next, you get up to 5,000 emails per month. Now, if you plan to send out more, like some people have databases of like 10,000 people. If you plan to send out more than that, you can pay to upgrade it, but you get 5,000 free. If you send it out through Smart Plans, there's no limit, right?
Wow,
No limit.
great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Everybody good? So there's a whole lot in designs that you can play with. Too much for us to cover in one class. But if you ever have any questions, just reach out to me. Okay. Next up, we're going to campaigns. Little megaphone. We're getting our message out. That's what campaigns is all about. And there are several pieces of this as well. So I'm going to work from back to front, starting with social posts. Social posts are free. You have to have a business page on Facebook. You have to have your Facebook connected to Command. Those are the two first things that you have to do. And you can schedule out your social media posts as far out as you would like. So if you want to sit down and you want to schedule out Happy St. Patrick's Day, Happy First Day of Spring, Happy 4th of July, and Thanksgiving and Christmas and Kwanzaa and whatever you want to put on there, you can go ahead and schedule those out. I also recommend scheduling regularly scheduled content. Just throwing out an example, Wendy Taylor in the Winston-Salem Market Center, every Monday, she does a motivational Monday post. She gets either a quote or a video or a graphic or something that motivates people, and she puts it on Facebook. Every Wednesday, she posts a recipe. Every Friday, she posts something funny. Notice in there, none of the things that I said were, I just listed a house. I have an open house this weekend. I just sold a house, right? Those things happen when they happen, but you should also have some scheduled just content, because if you're just constantly hitting people over the head with the business side, they get bored and they will stop paying attention to the stuff that you post. So don't do that, right? Have some content, give some value other than, and brag about your business, right? Do both things. But the regularly scheduled content is what you can schedule out in here, which is great. You can see I'm seeing a week view right now. I can also see a month. Okay. So switch this back to week.
Monica, when you post this, it goes to your business page. Does it then, do all your friends see it too, or just people that have liked your business
People
page?
that follow your business page would have the access to see it, Sally. That's a great question. So I will show you what I always recommend. Okay. So over here on the right-hand side, you have quick posts, and I love quick posts because they're quick, right? So doesn't take a lot of thought process there. You can hit the shuffle button if you don't like the one that you see. So I'm going to do this mortgage refinance because I did one and it saved me a lot of money. I'm just going to click the forward arrow. This is going to allow me, if I'm connected, to post this quick post. I didn't have to do any editing. If I wanted to, I could. I like to do stuff fast, so I don't need to edit anything. Looks good. I like it. I'm going to move forward. I can schedule it for later, or I can publish it immediately. And unlike paid ads on the social post, if you have multiple Facebook pages, which I do, I could post to all of them if I wanted to, right? So if you have some neighborhood specific ones and stuff like that, then you can post to multiple from here. You can also share it to Twitter. There is not a way to share to Instagram unless it is a paid ad yet. It's coming. I know a lot of people like Instagram. So social posting to Instagram is coming. It's just not here yet. So I'm going to publish this immediately just to show you guys. If I wasn't talking, it would have taken me 5 seconds to post it, right?
So Monica, will it just post to business pages, or will it post to a personal page too from that point right there?
Not post to a personal page, no.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. But what you can do, because let's look at my business page here. I think that I have like 103 people or something. Where is it? On here. There it is. Yeah, I was right. 103 people like this page and 118 people follow my page, right? So yes, there's that post that went, right? But I have, I think, 2,000 something friends. So if I want those people to get to see it, but I want to make sure that I'm staying within the legalities of being a realtor and being a real estate agent. So North Carolina Real Estate Commission and the North Carolina Realtors Association have rules on social posting, you know, about disclosing that we're agents, disclosing who our company is. I don't want to get in trouble for anything. I'm very confident if I post to my business page which says Keller Williams 5 million times, that if somebody sees it, they know that I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams, right? There's no question. So what you can do when you're on your business page, right here, you can see my picture. It says I'm interacting as Winston-Salem Forsyth County Real Estate, which is my Facebook page. But I can drop this down and interact as myself. I'm now interacting as myself. So now I can share this from my page. So this is going to do two things. It's going to give it more exposure because it's going to push it out to all of my friends. 1, 2, all of those friends who have not yet liked my page now see something from my page. And if they click it, hopefully they're going to like my page, which is going to do nothing but push my page up in Facebook's algorithm. Right? So if you want to share it out to your personal account, you can schedule it to go to your business page, and then later on you can share it from your business page to your personal profile.
Okay.
But you share it as the other you, not the real estate you, right?
Correct. So you're sharing it as yourself personally. But it's tied back to your business page.
Can you ask them in that to like your
Sure.
page?
So if you click share now, it just shares it. It doesn't, you don't post, you don't type, right? It just puts it out there. You could share it to your story, or you can share it to your newsfeed, and you can type it and you can say, check out my Facebook page, you know, for
Real estate.
Salem real estate information or whatever you want to say. And,
Yeah.
and then you can post it and share it right there.
Okay,
It'll share out to your personal account.
that's nice.
Yeah. And it's keeping you within where you're supposed to be. So like this one for Groundhog's Day, I think I scheduled this in November. Right? So that's what's great about it. Again, system set up in the front end, save you time in the long run. I'd forgotten I posted it until I actually saw it. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I think I scheduled it in boot camp, because I wanted to show people that you could schedule it out way far. So you can go ahead and schedule out as much as you want. The last thing I'm going to show you in social posts is the neighborhood video. And I know I've got some high C's in here who I love. I get it. Are these numbers in this video 100% accurate? Probably not, because the market changes so much and it doesn't matter. I know that the high C's are going to be like, I'm not going to post it. That's okay. Don't post it. The whole point of these videos, again, just like with the animation and the designs, is to stop people from scrolling so that they will click into your content and hopefully connect with you. So I'm giving that disclaimer before I show you guys this video. So one of the quick posts is create a neighborhood video. So you're going to click that forward arrow. Okay. Now, if you are a super stickler for making sure the numbers are accurate, you can go into the MLS and double check before you post it. So I'm going to stick with what we were looking at, Buena Vista, Winston-Salem. Oh, there it is. I was like, come on now. Buena Vista, Winston-Salem. There we go. I'm going to click next. Okay. So here's your chance. If you're like, I want to make sure that I double check this. Cool. Go check out MLS. And you can edit this stuff out. It doesn't calculate average price per square foot because anybody who's listed anything in our MLS knows the square footage is in a range and it doesn't show the actual square footage that you entered until the property closes. So it's not calculating the average price per square foot. So if you would like for that to show, go in there and check it out, right? It's also populating number of homes that are for sale, average days on the market. Just like on our websites, what do people in this neighborhood do, right? Agent information, it's populating yours. Market center brokerage information, populating your license number, your brokerage license number, your company's logo, and your owner statement. So you can make any edits here, but I just want to show you guys what it looks like. It takes up to 10 seconds. We all know how patient I am for waiting for 10 seconds. Come on. Well, it usually is faster than this.
I like videos.
I do too. And here is one. Boop. Yay. Isn't that cute? And then
How
you,
cool is that? That is
Right?
cool.
and then you just
Yeah.
post to Facebook. That is the kind of stuff that makes people stop scrolling and pay attention. Right? So that's what it's for. And then that's one of the other quick posts. So you have lots of them over here. They are always adding new ones. You can shuffle around and find one that you like. And you have the neighborhood one. And so say I wanted to schedule this one, I'll just show you what it looks like later. So maybe I wanted to post while I'm away at family reunion, which will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. Cool deal. Schedule post, and you will see it show up. at the top on my calendar, right? It's showing that that one just got published. That one's scheduled to publish tomorrow at 10 a.m. So like I said, you can come through here and schedule out way far in advance, like I did with that Groundhog's Day post.
Okay, so Monica, are we limited again to next door neighborhoods and zip codes on that?
For the neighborhood videos, I'm pretty sure that it's only for now next door neighborhoods. Not even
Okay, okay. Okay.
for that one in particular, yes. Go ahead,
Can we
Scott.
download the video at all?
Probably
Just
won't
wondering, like, if I had say I have a list of people that want to look in Sunset Hills in Greensboro, and I could drop that video on a Google Drive and send the link out or something like that.
Those are good questions. I don't think so. That is a good
Okay.
question, though. We need to make that recommendation.
Okay.
I mean, you could, at minimum, you could put it on here and you could share it with them,
Right.
but
Yeah.
that would be really cool to be able to download that.
Monica, my computer sort of stopped, or what was it you and Carol said about the neighborhoods?
That if you want to do one of those neighborhood videos, it is limited to the next door neighborhoods.
You mean but you could put whatever zip code in there, right?
No, not for the videos. It's only based on the next door neighborhood boundaries.
I don't know what that really means. Next door to what?
We partner with the company next door, and
Oh,
that's what gives us those neighborhood boundaries, right, that we're using. And we're working on a way for agents to be able to correct the lines of the neighborhoods because they are made by people that live in the neighborhoods, like the general public, who shouldn't be drawing the lines of neighborhoods, if I'm being quite candid. So
Amen to that.
we're partnering with them, right? That's the good thing. It's a good thing about our partnership with DocuSign. It's a good thing about our partnership with Facebook. And it's a good thing about our partnership with Nextdoor is that they're actually listening to us on what we want. And they're trying to work with us to find a way to make it happen. So they are working on the ability for us to correct those lines and create neighborhoods, even if we don't live in the neighborhood, which is currently the only way to create a neighborhood, right? So they are working with us on that. But Scott led me to a great segue. If you are in command and you're like, I love this, and it would be really cool if it could do this, like Scott wanting to download that video, go to ideas.kw.com, right? This is where you can put in your idea for what you want command to do. And they really do come here to look. I can promise you, I'm a labs advisor. This is where KWRI's teams come to see what they're going to add to command next. That's what's great about it. We built it, we own it, and we can add to it, right? It's a platform to which we can add, right? So come in here, check it out. Look for ideas that are in here. Always check to make sure your neighborhood video idea does not exist yet. So I would 100% go at it. Video capability. I would love to see the capability to create a video and designs, upload, Guess what? People voted on it. And when I was just showing you designs, what did we already have? Video. Because we asked for it and they gave it to us. So put your ideas up here. Okay. Cool. You can go vote for other people's ideas. You can also, if it's your idea, you can click on it. And this little URL up here, you can share it into your company Facebook page and say, please, please, please go vote for my idea. Because the more people that vote for it, the faster they're going to try to make it happen. Okay. Thanks for that, Scott. Hadn't talked about ideas in a while. Cool deal. So that's social post. Woo, it's 11:23. We're going to run out of time 100%. We may carry this into the afternoon session after I go do that Facebook Live real quick. If you guys want to come back, if not, it's going to be recorded anyway. Direct mail. We're going to go through this quick. It's got pre-installed templates within the direct mail piece of campaigns. Also, we talked about that you can make postcards over in Designs. If you're going to make the postcards over in Designs, there are specific parameters around how you need to download them to get them to work in here. So if you need help with that specifically, if you don't want to use these pre-installed templates and you want to create your own postcard, I'm happy to have a one-on-one with you to show you how to do it. I've done it 100 times with other agents, and I'm happy to do it with you, okay? But we're just going to make an easy one. We're going to create the campaign. We are going to do direct mail. We're going to do this for advertising a listing because it's just easier. We're advertising a listing, and we're going to create the campaign. Okay. So again, we can search by property address, MLS number, listing agent. Right now it says it's only showing my listings. More than likely it would be your listing. I just don't have listings. So I'm going to switch that to all listings. I don't have that. Oh, wait, I still have it. Good. I was like, I don't have that on my clipboard anymore. Let me fix that. I'm going to search. There's that Greystone Village that we were looking at earlier. That's what I'm going to promote. So I've picked my listing. I'm going to open up content. I'm just going to use a pre-installed template instead of uploading a design. Do I want to do a 4x6, large, modern, large contemporary? It shows you the sizes over here. You can pick which one you want. So if you wanted to do a large one, you can change it. Okay. Listing status, just listed. Bedrooms, bathrooms, done. 856 of 1,000 characters is what you get. It's pulling in your MLS info right here because it's a big postcard, so you've got more room. Okay. Now, as far as uploading, they are working on this. It's not just our MLS, it's Matrix, which is in several states that runs our MLS. The syndication of their pictures is baloney. They get grainy, right? So if it's your own listing, you have the photographer's pictures, just upload that picture yourself so that it's super high resolution. But if you do want to use one of the listing images, they are going to have this exclamation point that says that they aren't big enough, that they won't guarantee the quality, right? On a big postcard like this, this probably would be grainy. I'm not gonna lie. But if you were doing one of the 4x6s, this would probably be fine. So just depending on what you're doing. But again, if it's your own listing, you have the main pictures. Use those pictures. Okay. But you can pull them in from the listing as well. They are working with Matrix to fix that. I think there's another MLS provider that has that same problem. But
Monica, I know you're probably running out of time. Real quick question for Just Sold, where would we find, and we're trying to send some postcards out to that neighborhood, where would we find those contact information? And can we send it up here and we have to pay, right? We could send out.
I'll show you in the next step right here. So we got to open up Market Center.
Okay.
Got my DBA logo here.
Okay.
I got to fix this. It's not pulling in my state. Get NC. My office is 27103. Got to verify the address. Yes, that's the address. Thank you. Now I have check, 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 check. Budget. How many postcards do you want to send out? You can change this up or down, right? So maybe I'll only have the budget for 100. $92 standard postcards. Remember, this was a jumbo postcard. It's a lot cheaper if you do a 4x6. When I click save and configure targeting, okay, it's going to warn me again that Real Mailers is not responsible for a low quality picture. But again, you would have uploaded this. Yes, I'm sure I want to create this campaign. It's going to generate it. It's going to connect to Real Mailers, and you don't have to go find the people's information because it's going to go in a radius around the house, and it's already going to have it in there for you. Right? Send a copy to yourself always, because that way you know when it goes. And then you click next and you enter your credit card information, and they go into production. Real Mailers mails them out. You'll see when you get yours, and I think it takes 3 to 5 business days for them to be delivered because they are going.
Awesome.
You can make them go first class, especially.
Okay.
Not even that much more. 92, 121.
I wonder how much a 4x6 for 200 would be. Probably,
Yeah,
you said much less.
you can go in there like I just made that as a draft. You can see I've made a million drafts. So it's not like you have to go all the way through if you want to just go in and calculate it.
Mhm.
But also, not that I don't love these direct mail postcards,
Mhm.
but I'm going to give a shout out to our lenders. A lot of lenders will do postcards for you. One I know specifically that will is Fairway Independent Mortgage. They split the cost in half for you and they do all the work. They
Okay.
create it. They do everything. If it's your listing, they'll do coming soon, just listed, under contract, just sold, 4 postcards. If you wanted to send out 200 and it was $200, they pay 100, you pay 100. The only difference is they put their lender on the postcard with you. So like on the back, it's like Monica Perry, Keller Williams Realty Elite, Bill Reynolds, Fairway Independent Mortgage, and this your data on the back. But it saves you the time and it saves you money.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think they also do recipe cards. And like set your clocks forward, set your clocks back, and maybe some other holiday postcards, if I'm not mistaken. They do all the targeting, mailing, designing.
And how do you set up that partnership? Just ask them.
Email Zana.
Okay.
Zana Moretti. Hold on, I'll tell you what her email is. Every time I have a boot camp, she's like, thank you for sending those agents to me. Oh, Miss Zana, she's a trip. Zana M, ZANAM at fairwaymc.com. Now, Chapel Hill, I can't make a promise. I don't know. But you probably have a lender in the area.
We do. We have Nancy with movement and also.
Yeah, they might
Mark
do
with
postcards. I
movement.
would ask them. I mean, because lenders want to do these partnerships with you guys,
Okay.
right? So ask them, do you do postcards?
Okay.
But Greensboro and Winston, I am 100% sure that Zana is the contact for you with Fairway. That doesn't mean like Atlantic Bay, Movement, all the others don't have it too. That's just who I used to use. Cool.
Okay. Great.
Cool. All right. So direct mail campaigns, looked at that. Emails. Remember, we designed emails. Now we can send emails. So this time we would click create campaign. We would do email. What are we doing for this email? Maybe this is just a brand awareness. Maybe I'm going to do that tax day email we looked at, right? For brand awareness. I'm going to use command mail. If you pay for MailChimp and you want to use it, cool. You can connect it here. I'm going to use the built-in command mail. So here's my tax day. It's going to come from me. If they respond to it, it's going to go to me. You have to have a list. If you don't have lists, you can create a list right here of your contacts. That's why it's important to tag, because I have like 2,500 contacts and I don't really feel like going through all of them. So if you want to put people on email campaigns, hopefully you have a tag for them for that purpose, and you can search for them like that. I already have a list. It's called family. They hate me because I send them so much stuff. That's okay. They'll be all right. So I'm just going to say tax day is rapidly approaching. Right, get your stuff done. Also like popping emojis in my little things sometimes. Right? So I can do like a money emoji or something. I like having emojis in my subject lines of emails because they make it more fun and they make it more eye-catching in somebody's inbox. Okay. Now, if I had never visited email designs and created this template, I still have access to that tax day from the template right there. I get to see a preview of it. I can edit anything right from here that I want. I'm going to save it. Seeing a preview over here on the right. My information over here on the left. I'm ready to send. I send. or I can schedule. It's going to 11 recipients. It looks like this. I didn't have to edit anything. Off it went. Okay. So that's how email campaigns work. So you have to use a design email, whether you're creating it yourself or you're using one of the KW ones that's already created for you. And then you can see how many got sent, how many got opened, how many clicks, all that fun stuff when you open up the email. So you can see who opened it, where was it delivered, how many people opened it, how many people clicked on it, right? How many didn't send, and if they unsubscribed. So that's how email campaigns work. Good. And we only have 6 minutes to go over paid ads, which is not enough time. So if you guys are going to come back at 12 and you want to just look at paid ads instead of going into tasks and referrals and all that stuff, we can do that. If you can't make it back today, that's okay. I totally understand. I hate to have to do 2 days in one day, but I have to drive to Florida in the morning. So I will not be able to do this. I'm going to come into this Zoom from my phone so that it'll stay open if you just want to turn off your cameras and hang out until 12. If you want to leave the Zoom, same link to come back in. Completely up to you guys, but I will leave it open and I will be back at 12. Does anybody have any questions before I pop off? Questions, comments? Cool. I'm going to stop this recording and we will see you guys